Hey everybody, it's Barbara and welcome back to my channel, Straight Out of Context. Let's rewind time. Let's talk about the blatant hypocrisy here. This is Bree. She also goes by Says Bree or Bree with duh facts. She is the most loyal gatekeeper and friend of Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Gypsy Rose Blanchard gives her a legally private correspondence from her legal husband, Ryan Anderson. Gives it to Bree, and then Bree goes and tells the entire planet. You look so good as a brunette. Miss your voice. You know I do. You still have my heart. I still only have eyes for you. Gypsy Rose, you really are the most beautiful woman in the world. Just being honest. Maybe he's shooting his shot because somebody recently said that Ken broke up with her at the exact day and time of her baby shower. But let's talk about this. What is spousal privilege? Marital privilege, also known as spousal privilege, is recognized by the law of evidence and the Supreme Court to protect private spousal communications and prevent any testimony against a spouse from being used in judicial proceedings. Spousal privilege applies in both civil and criminal cases. It covers communications made during the marriage, communications that are prompted by affection, confidence, and loyalty engendered by the marital relationship, communications that occur during the marriage even after the marriage ends. And you wonder why people don't trust her and know that she's not trustworthy. She uses him, she lies to him, she lies to parole so she can be paroled to live with him. Takes money from him, goes and lives with him, immediately, not even 50 days later, is already confiding in somebody she shouldn't be even speaking to, an ex that dumped her. She then has an emotional affair, a physical and sexual affair. She suddenly and abruptly abandons and neglects her husband. She immediately gets back with said ex, manipulates and tricks him into thinking she's on birth control when she's not, gets pregnant, and she suddenly files for divorce from Ryan. And you don't think that that is trauma? You don't think that the guy has a heart and a soul? You don't think that he's going to have a hard time coping with that kind of level of abuse that was just thrown on him? Oh, not to forget, she disposed of him and discarded him. And people are not disposable. Oh, but to Gypsy Rose Blanchard, they are. Dee Dee Blanchard, Nicholas Godejohn. Do those names ring a bell?
Why did you have Bree post instead of you posting?
I personally, I couldn't do it myself. I felt like if I posted it myself, that he would have received a message that I'm trying to hurt him, and that's not what I was trying to do.
What's the message?
The message is that I in no way want to prevent the healing process, but I do not want to be with him either. And that's definite.
Talked you into killing your mother.
I did. I talked him into it.
Why didn't you kill your mother?
I didn't believe I could do it.
Could you explain what you mean by that?
I don't like blood. I don't like the sight of blood. Frankly, I'm too squeamish, so I just honestly didn't believe I could do it on my own. I view him as the public because I feel like I have to explain myself to him and defend myself just as much as the average other person on TikTok. And I'm hurt that he's hurting.
But I'm just the public. She sees me as the public. What's some more shit I can throw? That shows that I'm just a member of the public. Let's publicly get rid of some shit. Where's some stuff? All in storage, I guess. Shit. Let's see. I don't know. I really like that drawing, but part of me wants to rip that damn thing up so bad. Part of me wants to so bad. But I love that drawing. But part of me wants to rip it up just because it meant nothing. To her, it meant nothing. So Anyway, all right. I've done running stuff and throw shit, and if Pixie didn't like her blanket, I'd throw the blanket. I'm trying to think. Oh, look. Here's something. My pictures. Just throw this shit. Yeah, bullshit. Picture frame, bullshit. That, bullshit. All bullshit. It's all bullshit. Bullshit. So.
In order, this is exactly how this went. She had her friend expose private messages from Ryan to make it look like he's still clamoring over her. When Gypsy Rose Blanchard's TikTok account was hacked, they released the fact that she had deleted messages in between to make it look like he was only texting her and she hadn't been responding, even though she was. Despite being his own character on season 2 of her show, he had enough, and he finally, 7 months later, retaliated and released messages proving that Gypsy had been in communication with him. And now people like Recaps, who have been completely supporting Gypsy, saying, no, she doesn't talk to Ryan. Well, you've been proven wrong, according to her. She goes on to show this and this. Private messages between Ryan and her father, Rod, and the fact that Ryan is on a certain medication. In between, she had several different lives, including this one from Jazz Fest, where she is apparently talking to Ryan.
So you want me to take my shit down, right? Okay, how about you quit talking about me? It's been 3 fucking months since I texted you. And you're spiraling out of control. So just remember, just as much dirt as you have on me, I have on you, honey. You punch at me, I punch back 10 times harder. Go see a therapist.
The public backlash from society was very swift, especially from millions and millions of American citizens who are in the recovery community. This puts her TV show in jeopardy. She is now a liability, and nobody's going to want to work with her. But Gypsy Rose herself goes on to admit that she has several times had communication with Ryan.
So this video is going to be for Ryan Anderson, and if you're not Ryan Anderson, then keep scrolling. But I know y'all watch. And that's okay, but this video is not for y'all, it's for him.
If this was just for him, she wouldn't be using it as a PR move to try to salvage herself. She would be posting it directly to Ryan and not to 9.6 million people on TikTok. This is solely to try and humanize herself for the backlash. It's a little too late now. What's done is done. Kind of like when you murder your mom. You put a mentally disabled autistic man in prison for life and inadvertently cause his mother to take her own life.
So I know that it's been about 3 months since we had any kind of text message exchange. And I know it's been really hard for you watching the show for the first time. I know it was all filmed, but I know that you don't, so I understand that you're reacting to things in real time, just like I am. So I'm sorry for not giving you that grace. I do want to say, like, this is going to be kind of a long video of me just putting out what's on my heart.
Oh, so the truth kind of slips up, huh? So it's not for Ryan, everybody else keeps scrolling. It's for her to put out what's on her heart for everybody else to see about her.
And I know that it is hard to watch things that we have said and things that happen, even if it was 6, 7, 8 months ago, whatever.
That doesn't matter, because over 7 months ago, you used somebody by proxy to put out private correspondence with your still then legal husband to globally humiliate him on the internet, to get him off of TikTok, to make it look like he is just clamoring over you, that he's hounding you, that he just won't let you move on, and that he can't let you go because he's still so in love with you. Trust me, nobody is. The problem is that people are in love with a false idea of what they think somebody is. The unfortunate truth is that he didn't know you at all, and he never really did. But again, it's not about that. It's about you using the public so you can try to make what you did justifiable in your own head. You're virtue signaling and gaslighting not only society, but Ryan, but mostly society here, because you're posting this for everybody to see, when all good deeds and apologies should be made when the public are not looking.
I understand that the feelings are happening in real time, and I want you to know that it is extremely hard to watch you have to go through these emotions. And I understand that when you are doing live streams, you're speaking your truth. You're speaking your mind and your peace. And I'm never going to filter you for doing that. But whenever you put out text messages.
Yes, and he's allowed to do it. You've done it multiple times, but especially this one. What, close to 7 months ago now this was.
Between you and I, that I think are sacred. That should, in my opinion, be sacred between us.
Nothing is sacred with you when you cheat on your husband. You have an emotional affair with somebody else. You lied to him. You suddenly abandoned him. Then you globally humiliate him on social media and mainstream media. There is nothing sacred because you legally divorced him, and that is that. You don't get to have a baby with somebody else. Divorce somebody legally, leave them, be separated for over a year, have that baby, and then still want the luxury and the privilege of what that person made you feel, and want the luxury and the privilege of being a wife status. Tell Ken to shut up and put a ring on it if that's what you really want.
And when I mean sacred, I mean that there are very few people I trust in this world.
Yeah, but can he trust you? It's all about you. It's nobody's job to make you feel trustworthy of anybody else. Just like everybody else out in the world, you are nothing, you are nobody, just like every other nobody. Nobody needs to have the status of having your trust. How about you earn somebody else's trust for once? Or does loving and caring about other people or friends just completely elude you?
And I have always counted you as one of them.
But the problem is that he can't count you as one of the people that he can rely on and trust in, because you have proven yourself to be unloyal, unfaithful, untrustworthy, just an overall horrible human.
So whenever I reached out to you when I was 2 weeks postpartum and I didn't know how to handle my emotions, I just had a baby. My whole life changed. My literal whole life changed in an instant.
And so why does Ryan have to bear the brunt and the burden of your life changing? You're the one whose actions caused your life to change. Nobody did this other than you. Ryan doesn't have to clean up your mess.
And I don't regret having Aurora. I don't. She's the best thing that ever happened to me. But I leaned on you. I leaned on you because I trust you. That is not something a lot of people I can say about.
But can a lot of people say that about you? Absolutely not. Because look what you did to him. After not even 50 days of being released from prison, you lied to him, you cheated on him, you got pregnant by another man, you divorced him, then you globally humiliated him. While using TMZ, People Magazine, Lifetime TV, your book, TikTok, Instagram. But you hypocritically want to tell him he can't do that? It's his life. He can talk about whatever he wants to talk about.
When I felt distant from Ken during those first few weeks postpartum, I vented to you. I told you everything that was on my heart and in my head. And I thought that that was gonna stay between us. Did I tell Ken? Eventually I did. But I never aimed to hurt you.
We know that that is not true. That's exactly why you did it. And that is exactly why you used somebody else by proxy, just like Nick, to do it for you. That is your MO, hurt by proxy.
It was never about hurting you. It was always about what the public might think, the public persona. And I think what gets to me, and I vented this to your mom, is that you have your TikTok personality and then you have the real Ryan Anderson. And those two are two completely different people. So when I see you on TikTok acting the way you do, talking the way you do, doing your polls, that's not the man that I married. The man that I married went on Facebook once a month because I asked him to.
So, yeah, you damaged him. You harmed him that egregiously. You caused that much abuse and trauma, and you know exactly what you are doing. And now you're going to gaslight him and gaslight all of society into believing that he changed for the worst because you suddenly abandoned him, cheated on him, got pregnant, and did this all on national TV and on social media. You cannot seriously be this narcissistic. It's not your business what he is or is not anymore. You just need to come to terms that you're toxic and abusive to everybody. Look at what you have your friends and family doing for you. You've turned all of them and content creators and TikTok into an entire toxic cesspool just by being out of prison, by constantly lying and not actually trying to have the private life you said you wanted. You are doing the opposite. You have been doing everything for 10 years to try to curate this false sense of famedom. And literally, it's all been off of the back of your crime. Your constant drama and crime.
You didn't do social media. You didn't care. It was never about the public back then. And it's so hard to see what you have become. So yeah, I get mad, I get frustrated, I get angry because I know that that's not you. Where's the person that came to visit me when we had an argument and I told you don't come, and then you showed up anyway? Where's the person that was there for me whenever my parents were on the edge of a divorce?
As soon as Christy and Rod divorced, Rod hit me up. You're welcome back in Michigan anytime you want, baby, because I tell you what, her daddy, he's kind of cute and he's just my type. Oh, wait, is that Gypsy in the background that I hear, or is that the world's smallest violin playing? Again, it's all about her, herself, what she thinks, what she feels, what she wants, how she's comforted, who she can trust, what she did, blah, 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 blah. If she ever loved Ryan, she would not have done what she did to him. She would not be doing what she's doing to him. And she would care about actually him, how he feels, what he thinks, what's best for him. But let's continue with this me fest. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the seagulls from Finding Nemo. Mine.
And Christy didn't pick up the phone for 3 weeks. And you were all I had. You think I forgot about that? I haven't. I hate that we keep doing this back and forth, trying to hurt each other. But we're not trying to hurt each other. We're trying to hurt each other's reputations.
No, sweetheart, you did that. You did that to him more than once, knowing good damn and well you're using Lifetime and TikTok and almost 10 million followers to do so. You must have got whiplash from that backlash because we know you're feeling it because this is all about you.
I hate the fact that we are trying to be at war with each other. But I know I just want the best for you. I want you to be happy. I want you to move on. I want you to move on with someone that's going to make you happy, that's going to love you like you should be loved. And I know that it's hard because I get it. I did you wrong, and I'm sorry for that.
Well, that's Ryan's decision whether or not he comes to terms with and can forgive you, even though you're not deserving of it. The fact is, you should be saying that to him over the phone or in person, and not to 9.6 million people on TikTok, plus the millions more who are going to watch it or share the video or on Instagram.
But every time we would text each other, every time we would talk on the phone, you wouldn't really bring that up. We were civil, if not even friendly. So yeah, I am sorry that in all of this confusion and anger and disappointment, that seeing that text message that you released, for what? For what?
Good question, Gypsy. For what? Why'd you start this with him? To make the public think that he was still in love with you and wouldn't leave you alone and wouldn't let you move on. Too bad everybody in the world sees you for exactly what and who you really are and sees right through your dumb lies.
Because you wanted to show that you are the truth teller on TikTok? Well, that hurt my trust. And so yes, in turn, I put out personal information of yours that I knew that you didn't want out there. And it was wrong, and it was below the belt, and it was too far, and I'm sorry. I truly am sorry. Even if you give me many other jabs, I won't put out anything else about you.
You never should have in the first place after what you did to that man. You really should have disappeared altogether from TV, from social media, and went and had your private life. You got Ken. You got backdoor Ken, the one you wanted. Now go live life. She can't, because if we're not here consuming the content, and if we're not here making the comments, and if we're not here giving her the attention, her narcissism, her sociopathy, and her psychological egoism is not driven by anything other than us, society.
I'm not going to try to hurt you. I know that in your heart you care about me. I know in your heart that you are a good person. I'm just sorry. I'm sorry that you fell in love with a piece of shit like me. I always said Ken was my love, is my love. But you were my comfort.
Did you ever think that maybe you're not the love of his life? Maybe you're not good enough for him after what you did to that man? You're going to literally say you were my comfort, but you weren't his comfort. But you didn't uphold your vows. You divorced him after completely abusing that man and creating nothing but a toxic cesspool in his life. It is not an accolade nor a flex to be loved, trusted, or married to a convicted murderer and a pathological liar. I'm sure for Ryan, and like anybody else, it's a regret. It's more of a, I wish I never, or if I knew then what I know now. The problem is these men start to know who you are.
You were my safe place because I knew that you never would hurt me. And I'm just tired of this war, and I want it to end. I don't know what you think the alternative could be between you and I. That's where I get stuck at, is I can't keep texting you. I can't keep talking to you. I have a whole family. I'm in a committed relationship. I have a daughter with this man. Like, I don't know if, we can't be friends.
Why would he want to be friends with somebody who just had a baby with the guy she told him not to ever worry about? Why? So he can relive his abuse and trauma every time he looks at you?
Do you understand what position I'm in? I know to you, as long as I keep talking to you, you feel some sort of connection, but that can't be. We can't do that. We're not at that space. All I can do is wish you the best, and I know that that is finite.
And it's a good thing that it is done, because you divorced him after cheating on him, after leaving him for another man and having a whole baby, after lying to him, after abusing him, suddenly abandoning him, causing him trauma. He doesn't realize it now, but he is very lucky and very fortunate to be the fuck away from you.
And that's definite. And I know this is all sinking in, that it's really the end now. But you will always have a place in my heart, and we will always have those good memories together. But that has to be it. Some people come in our lives for a season, others for a reason. And the reason you came in my life was to show me that I need to be a better person.
So it's not about apologizing to Ryan. It's about her wanting to be perceived by the public on TikTok, 9.6 million followers, as a better person. Oh, not the fact that you killed your own mother, that you put a mentally disabled man with autism in prison for the rest of his life for your crime. Anybody over the age of 18 who knowingly causes the death of another person after deliberation, or the fact that his own mother is no longer here and he doesn't have the support and resources that you have been fortunate enough to have, right? Right, okay. Or what about Ken? The minute that Ken doesn't do what you want, you go back to Ryan, messaging him, but it's all about you want to be a better person. No, you want the public to perceive you as a better person than what you truly are on the inside.
The police must have gotten somebody's story backwards, or somebody wasn't telling the whole truth, but it couldn't be Gypsy.
And don't forget to subscribe, like, turn on notifications, and share.